My name is Clara Taus. My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zainab Sammaz, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jan Faria, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paulini, and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready? Play.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time it is in the world, wherever you are tuning in from, you are here to enjoy the thrills and the spills that Jessica Pegula and Belinda Bencic are hopefully going to be throwing up for us. So far, we have Pegula serving first, and we have got to 30 all on her serve. So a little bit of jeopardy here for Jessica. She was up 30-15. Do let me know in the live chat where you are tuning in from. I'm in Bonn in Western Germany, and a disappointing volley if you're a Jessica Pegula fan, giving a break point here for Belinda Bencic already in the early stages of this encounter. So let's see how this breakpoint pans out. Backhand here from Pegula is going to go long. We've got a break of serve already for Belinda Bencic. Daniel Medvedev and Alex Michelsen will be starting shortly. I'm going to give you a poll for you to vote as to who you think is going to win this particular encounter, Pegula or Bencic. To the channel, please do hit subscribe as we head inexorably towards 30,000 subscribers. We had 100,000 viewers yesterday for our Alexiala Linda Noskova clash. Don't think we'll be hitting anywhere close to that figure today, but it'd be nice to have a few of you. Get involved in the live chat as well. Let us know who you think is going to win. I've gone for a Pegula win pre-match, but maybe that's looking a bit foolhardy right now with Bencic getting up an early break. I am cooking my dinner, by the way, live on the show. Oh, lovely lob there, Pegula, another 30. All right, I'm back. Oh, we've got some break points here for Pegula, 1540. Are we going to get a break of serve here? Forehand to forehand right now. Now into the backhand of Bencic. And Bencic goes long. Back on serve. 1 game all. Okay, so 1 game all here. Kind of things we do on Talking Tennis. Bit of cooking. Bit of this, bit of that. $15 love here. 8 minutes on the clock. I will be coming to the live chat in a moment, so please get your thoughts in the live chat, either on the results we've had today, where we've had wins for Iga Swiatek and Cam Norrie, or if you've got a thought on the Pegula Bencic match, or maybe one of the other matches coming up today, including Medvedev against Mickelson and Draper against Djokovic. Yeah, let me know your thoughts in the live chat. By the way, 30 love becomes 30-15 here. And now it's 40-15. If you have a thought, maybe you don't have any thoughts, and that's fine. But if you do have any, let me know in the live chat. Maybe your thought is, can you turn off that fan in the background? Well, I'm going to do that now. Good backhand return there from Bencic, but Pegula here on the defense. 40-30. And it all started with that excellent return. Yeah, Iga Swiatek winning 6-2, 6-love today. Pegula holds for 2-1, by the way. And Medvedev and Mickelson will be getting underway very, very shortly. I've gone for a Mukova win in this encounter. Let me know what your thoughts are. Sorry, Mukova. I've gone for a Pegula win. So I've gone for Pegula, Swiatek, and Norrie so far. So my predictions are 3 out of 3. But I don't think they're as outlandish as some of my predictions yesterday. Just as Gibson beating Paolini was one of my predictions yesterday. And maybe even Mboko beating Anisimova was a little bit out there. Feast against Felix. I predicted that one too. I think that was a 50-50. Maybe even Felix the slight favourite. Okay, so Bencic here serving at 1-2. And she's up 15-love. Oh, lovely forehand winner there from Pegula. Okay. Bencic serving. We had 2 breaks of serve to begin the match, but then Pegula just held reasonably comfortably. So now we're 15. Bencic serve. Forehand from Pegula up the line. Now a slice here from Pegula. I think Bencic might be a little bit surprised by that, and as a result, Pegula helps to win the point. I was surprised, at least. I thought Pegula was going to drop it by the other side. In the end, Bencic had to run back, but she did get there, to be fair. I do think the biggest weakness of Bencic is the movement. What do we think, people? Let me know in the live chat if you agree or disagree with my prognosis, my assessment, I think is a better word rather than prognosis, by the way. Into the valley here at 15:30, and Bencic is going to miss that, so we are now at 15:40. Hello, Ashley. How are you? And welcome to those of you tuning in for Daniil Medvedev against Alex Michelsen. That match has yet to get underway, but we are watching Jessica Pegula, 2 break points here on Belinda Bencic. But I will be keeping across both matches today. So as soon as Medvedev and Michelsen get underway, you will be aware of things. Double fault, is that from Bencic? Yes, it is. So we've got another break of serve, and now it is Pegula who leads by a break, 3-1. Do let me know your Indian Wells thoughts in the live chat, or if you have any questions. You can also vote in our polls as to who you think is going to win, Medvedev or Michelsen, Pegula or Bencic. Get in our polls and vote. I've gone for Medvedev and Pegula in these 2 encounters. And Pegula's raced into a 30-love lead on her serve here, by the way. Medvedev and Michelsen yet to start, but as soon as they do, I will let you know, okay? Don't worry, people. I'm here to inform, okay? So, supposedly. Talking of informing, I can inform you now that Jessica Pegula has 3 game points on her serve. She looks to consolidate that break advantage and get to 4-1, but she's not going to do it just yet. 3-1, 4-15. Elena Rybakina coming up against Sonny Kartal later on. I think Kartal is an overwhelming underdog in that match. I don't think it's any disrespect to say that to Sonny, despite her heroics en route, beating Tararudi in the first round and then Navarro in 3 sets, followed by Madison Keys in 3 sets. By the way, Pegula's held for 4-1, and Medvedev and Michelsen are underway. Michelsen serving first, and he is up 30 love. And it's now 40 love, 3 game points. 3 game points here for Mikkelsen. And he has sealed the deal. He's over the line. 1-love. And it looks like he's getting 100% of his first serves in at the moment. At least that is according to Google. But sometimes Google is wrong. Let me know in the live chat, by the way, where are you tuning in from to watch this match? And also give me a prediction, please. Bencic here serving at 1-4. One four, 30 love with an ace for Bencic. Decent serve there. Forehand here into the forehand. It's a lovely forehand winner there from Pegula, 40-15. And yes, that is my washing machine. You hear in the background. Bencic can't believe she's missed that, and it is 40-30. So can Bencic get to 2-4 at the very least here? And it is deuce now. Oh, Pegula will be regretting that opportunity. So advantage Bencic. She's got another game point for her. So advantage Bencic. She's serving here. What a return that is from Pegula. And we're back to deuce. Jessica turning the screw right now. Meanwhile, Mikkelsen and Medvedev are at 1-1. And we've got 3 break points here for Daniel Medvedev on the Alex Mikkelsen serve. So, is it Medvedev is going to make the first move in this particular encounter? By the way, for those of you just joining, make sure you hit the like button. And if you are new to the channel, hit subscribe. 3 break points. Daniel Medvedev, can he get over the line the first time of asking? Game point here for Belinda Bencic, but that's going to come and go. We're back to deuce. And Medvedev does indeed get over the line. He's got the break of serve, lead by 2 games to 1. So Medvedev makes his move. Pegula is trying to get a double break here on Bencic. But it is another game point for Belinda. Interesting slice return there from Pegula. Now it's on the backhand of Jessica, which is good down the line. Now it's on the forehand of Jessica. She goes cross court, but it clips the net and lands out. So we are at 4-2. We will have watch-alongs for Svitolina against Kartal. So do keep with Talking Tennis today. Hit the notification bell, that thing in the top corner that's of your screen. It's like a bell next to your own emoji or your own sign, if you like. Anyway, it's in the top right of the corner as the screen as you look. Click the notification bell and then you'll get notified whenever we go live. Who is winning the Indian Wells title, by the way? I've gone for Rybakina on the women's side and Alcaraz on the men's side. Here on the Pegula serve, by the way. Is she going to get to 15-30? Yes. Okay, decent return there from Pegula. Sorry, from Bencic. Good volley, though, there from Pegula at the net. 30 all. Really good volley. $30 all. Meanwhile, Medvedev has consolidated that break and got us to 3-1. Game point here for Pegula. but she's not taken it. So it's back to Juice, or it's at Juice, I should say. Ace from Pegula to get us to 4-2 advantage, and therefore a game point for the American. Backhand cross court into the backhand of Bencic, but Bencic's backhand is a beast. And that's a great forehand in behind Jessica to get us to Juice. By the way, we had 100,000 views on our Alexiala Linda Noskova match yesterday. Oh, we're going to have a break point now for Belinda Bencic, by the way. Is the Djokovic-Draper match the hardest to call? I've gone for Draper, but I think it might be the hardest one to call it, actually. Because Pegula, for me, is a warm, slight favourite against Bencic. I thought Iga would win. I thought Medi would win. So, yeah, I thought Cam Noe would beat Hijikata. It's a nice draw for Cam, to be fair. And Pegula's held for 5-2. By the way, look at that heat bearing down. Not many people in the crowd today. Do hit that like button, by the way. And if you are new to the channel, hit subscribe. Okay, change of ends for both players. And Medvedev, by the way, is up a double break now on Mickelson. Just feel like it's a step too far for the American. It's not a step too far for this American here with Jessica Pegula. And it is 15 love here on the Bencic serve. Do get voting in our poll, by the way, as to who you think is going to win. Backhand return there from Pegula goes into the net. So it is 30 love. Hello, Jane. Supporting your man, Mehdi. Well, he's in good shape at the moment. 4-1 double break advantage. And it's deuce here on the Mehdi serve, by the way. Jane, what are your thoughts on wins for Norrie and Iga today? Or perhaps also a thought on maybe your support or wish for this Pegula Bencic match? Or maybe you've got a thought on one of the bigger matches later on, maybe Draper against Djokovic. So these are my tips for today. And remember how well I did on my tips yesterday. I've gone for Medvedev over Mickelson, looking pretty good right now. Pegula over Bencic, looking pretty good right now. I went for Iga over Karolina Muchova. Well, we saw what happened there. I went for Cam over Hichikata. I went for Djokovic to lose to Draper. That's probably the biggest call of the day. It's really tough because actually pedigree in the desert, it's 10 years now since Djokovic delivered. Oh, we've got a break point here for Mickelson, by the way. And a double fault for Pegula to commence her service game as she tries to serve out the first set. So, second serve here for Bencic to look at as well. We're into the rally. That's on the backhand of Pegula. That's a really good backhand. And that inability to defend that Bencic, I think, has in her game, just got exposed a bit on that last point. I just think there's a few players that might have got their racket on that. I'm thinking Coco Gauff in particular. Fingers crossed we see Coco back on the tour healthy soon. Got a break point still here for Mickelson. 4-1 Medvedev, and that is a double break. So, and Medvedev has saved it. So we're back to juice. And by the way, Pegula's just struck an ace. So 30-15 Jess, and 2 points away from winning the first set. And it's going to be 2 set points for Jessica Pegula. I'd like to know in the live chat from all of you, by the way, that are tuning in, who would you like to win Indian Wells? Maybe you're a Medvedev fan. Maybe you're a big American and you want Mickelson or Pegula to win. Maybe you're an eager fan, or perhaps you're a Brit and you're back in the Brits, Draper and Norrie. And Kartal, by the way, what a good tournament it's been for the Brits so far. Kartal is 3 Brits are tournament, and we're midway through the second week. Forehand cross court here, forehand to forehand. We are on set point for Pegula, but that's a good forehand up the line from Bencic, and Pegula can't do anything about it. 40-30. For those of you just tuning in, hit the like button. And if you are new to the channel, hit subscribe. We're edging closer to 30,000 subscribers. But it is edging. In the absence of Alexiala, we will edge towards 30,000 rather than scream towards it. Deuce here, by the way, Pegula Bencic, as Pegula tries to serve this out. And this is a really lengthy service game for Daniel Medvedev. Had to save a couple of break points as well. But it is a double break advantage he has in the pocket for the number 11 seed. So he is still very much in the driving seat. Pegula's also in the driving seat, but it's going to be a second serve here for Bencic to look at. Forehand return is going to be mishit, and therefore we are going to have another set point for Jessica Pegula, and we're going to have another break point for Alex Mickelson. Oh, that was a risky second serve from Pegula, and I think it's landed in, but the return from Bencic is too good. Either way, we're back to deuce. No, it was a double fault. It was close. I thought it just landed in, but apparently not. I don't know what that big cheer from the crowd was all about. I'm sorry, I didn't get why they cheered, but there might be a very good reason. Let me know in the live chat if you know what that big cheer was all about. Good return there from Bencic. Now on the forehand of the Swiss. Backhand slice and Jess. She's on the defense here. But that's a good forehand. Now the backhand from Jess. And arguably we're at neutral now. In fact, Jess might just be slightly up in this rally. And Bencic can't deal with it. And we're going to have a set point. That rally swung more than a parliament. Set point, Jessica Pegula. And she gets over the line, winning the first set by 6 games to 3. Medvedev, Mickelson must hate Medvedev more than anyone else, possibly. But he has broken. He's got one of the breaks back, by the way. So it is a 1 break deficit rather than 2 break deficit, Matthew. Okay, so Pegula wins the first set by 6 games to 3. Medvedev's double break advantage. Well, one of the breaks has come and gone, but he has still got 1 in the pocket. Mind you, he's threatening the Mickelson serve here. It's love 30 on the American serve. As Mickelson goes for his towel. Okay, missed first serve here from Mickelson as well. So love 30, second serve. Serve out wide. Medvedev gets it back in play, but that's an incredible backhand there from Mickelson to get us to 15-30. Tennis all the way today. We will have every single match being played in Indian Wells on the single side live streamed. So please stick with us for all of those. Okay, Medvedev breaks. So the double break advantage has been restored. And it's 5-2 for Daniil. And so those frustrations that you highlighted, Matthew. I'm going to have to check this out. Mickelson really annoyed there, going 0 or something. I don't know what he's saying 0 about. He's getting an energy, what do you call them? An energy gel out anyway, to try and revitalize him and his chances going into this latter stages of the first set. So good news for Jane. If you are like Jane and you're supporting Daniil Medvedev, you're seeing your charge a double break up, and he's going to serve for the first set when they return to the court. Couple of straight sets matches will see me ease into my dinner a little earlier and a little bit more comfortably. I'm going to keep an eye out for this person that you're talking about, Matthew. Maybe a bit more description. Oh, Madrid are winning 2-0 against Man City. PSG 1, Chelsea 1. Oh, full time. Leverkusen 1, Arsenal 1. That's good news, bearing in mind you were 1 down, Matthew. Oh, a late equalizer as well from Kai Havertz from the spot. It's not easy fighting on all 4 fronts. Okay. Medvedev serving for the set here, and he is up at 30-15. Bencic has just broken the on the verge of breaking the serve of Belinda Bencic. Sorry, Jessica Pegula. Love 40. Tell me about this lucky penalty you got, Matthew. I need to know more. Unreturned serve from Medvedev to get to 40-15. Are we going to get an early break for Bencic? We got an early break for Belinda in the first set, don't forget. Now we're going to get another break of serve early for her. (40-30) here on the Medi serve. Set point number 2 for the two-time finalist in the desert. Good serve down the tee there. Now on the forehand of Medi. Cross court. And Mickelson can't deal with it. He puts his forehand in the net. 6-2. The first set is sealed in favor of Daniil Medvedev. So, let's switch over. Did we see a break of serve for Belinda Bencic? We're going to find out any moment. Maybe you already know. I'm watching this now, right now. Bencic puts the backhand into the net. But she did indeed break. So she's up 2-love 15. Remember, when she broke in the first set, she was broken back immediately. So that will be interesting. Bencic, they're looking a bit frustrated. And she's love 30 now on her serve. Do check out, by the way, Tennis Warehouse Europe, and you can get 10% discount on all their stuff if you use the code TALK10, TALK10. It is in the description on YouTube, the link. So that's Tennis Warehouse Europe. And whenever you buy anything from Tennis Warehouse Europe, use the code TALK10 at the checkout for discount. Let me know your thoughts on the proceedings today in Indian Wells. What about Djokovic Draper? We spoke briefly about that earlier, Matthew. I've made my prediction, but I'm intrigued to hear yours. It's a really tough one to call because the eye test says that Djokovic is a long way off. But I've seen Djokovic be a long way off, including in the Australian Open this year. Gets a walkover over Bencic. Musetti retires when he's down 2-0. And as Djokovic said, he's going home. And then he goes and beats Sinner in a one-off match, and he's in the final and wins the first set over Alcaraz, and suddenly everything's rosy. So I remember as well, was it last year when he beat Alcaraz in the quarters, maybe? I think it was. And I didn't think he was playing that well, but a not playing well Djokovic can still win titles and big ones as well. So he can certainly beat Jack Draper. And yet, Draper is the reigning champ in the desert, and he's playing well. And they haven't played each other for 5 years, so I don't think there's much scar tissue there for Jack in the same way there is for other players, including Alcaraz, by the way. And Pegula breaks back 2-1. 2-1 now, back on service, exactly the same as what happened in the first set. All right, so a bit fortuitous, but it is what it is. And now you'll be the warm favorite, I would suggest, to progress. Of course, away goals don't count anymore, but nevertheless, the 1-1 still suggests, given that you're at home in the second leg, would suggest that I would make you the warm favourites, but I didn't see the match tonight. I've gone for Rybakina to win the title, by the way, on the women's side. Don't know if we think that's a bit crazy or if that's a logical suggestion. I mean, the draw is okay. I'm not sure who she would potentially have in the quarters. I need to have a quick look at the draw actually in a moment. I'm going to have a look at the draw because at the moment we have Pegula leading by a set to love and Daniel Medvedev leading by a set to love. I am intrigued to see where they will end up. I think Medi would play Cam Norrie, I think. But I'm going to check that now. Oh, no, sorry. Cam Norrie is awaiting the winner of Alcaraz and Ruud. Medvedev or Mickelson is playing Draper or Djokovic. Obviously, we've already got Artur Fils and Alexander Zverev on the horizon and Lerner Tien against Yannick Sinner. Those quarterfinals obviously got confirmed yesterday. So, yeah, Alcaraz or Ruud lies in wait, assuming that's not bad for Alcaraz, bearing in mind the matchups he has against Casper and Cam for him to get to the semis. And I would imagine, I mean, the player that I think would Alcaraz prefer to play Medvedev or Mickelson, by the way, in the semis? If, obviously I'm getting a couple of matches down the line. But it's just because the conditions are really good for Alcaraz, and he's got, obviously, a great track record against Medvedev, especially at Indian Wells. I guess it still is Mickelson, but it's just the randomness of that. I tell you who I don't think he would like to play is Draper. Especially if Draper, therefore, has come through Djokovic and supposedly Medvedev. That would mean Draper's form is pretty hot. I don't think he'd really want to play Djokovic, but you've got to play someone. And it doesn't look like it's going to be Mickelson right now. As for the other half of the draw, Sinner against Tien, Sinner the warm favourite. Who would Sinner rather play, Fils or Zverev? I think maybe Zverev. Maybe. Zverev, of course, and Fils, two players that have never made the semis before. Over to the women's side of the draw, by the way. Sabalenka and Mboko. Well, I think Noskova's beaten Gibson, surely, right? So, Noskova beats Gibson. Sabalenka squeezes past Mboko, but honestly, that's not a clear one. Pegula here at 1-2, by the way, is going to have to save another break point. How are Mickelson and Medvedev doing? Medvedev is broken. So, Medvedev leads 6-2, 1-love with a break. And Pegula saves the break point with a serve into the forehand of Bencic, which goes into the net. Over to the women's draw, by the way. Anyway, talking about some of the matches from today. So we've got Swiatek will play the winner of Siniakova and Svitolina. And we have the winner of Pegula and Bencic will play Kartal or Rybakina. Listen, Kartal has been brilliant. And I love watching her play. Got a game point for Pegula, but I think it's not a bad draw for Rybakina. But what I will say is for at least the quarterfinal, but even, at least the quarterfinal anyway, for Swiatek, it's okay. I think rounds 3 and 4 were the tricky-ish, like considering ace down the tee for Pegula 2-all. Listen, I thought that she would beat Sakkari and I thought that she would beat Mukova. And actually, she did it very comfortably, both matches in straight sets. Losing just 2 games today to Carolina, by the way. That match got to 2-all, and then Iga reeled off 10 games in a row. But I just thought for rounds 3 and 4, they were tricky, considering who you could be playing. And I think considering who you could be playing in the quarterfinal, if it's Siniakova, yeah, I think that'll be nice for Swiatek. Svitolina will pose 1 or 2 issues, but I still expect Iga to win it, bearing in mind how comfortable she is in the desert. And it's obviously 4 years in a row that she's made the semis there, and I think it'll be 5. Where it gets back interesting again for Iga is the semis. Because if it's Pegula, or especially if it's Rybakina, then it suddenly gets very difficult again. And then the final, I don't think she'd... Listen, I think it would be a fantastic final, eagerly anticipated. I think both players would fancy their chances, but I don't think Iga would be scared of playing Sabalenka in the final in Indian Wells as much as she would be, for example, if it was Australia or even maybe New York. Okay. Medvedev looking to consolidate his break 6-2-1 love 40-30. Pegula here has got 15-30 on the Bencic serve. She looks to go up a set and a break, much like Daniil has done on the other court. Forehands to forehands here, and it's the forehand error from Bencic that gets us to 15-30. But then Bencic wins the next point for 30-all. Game point, Daniil Medvedev, 6-2-1 love. So Medvedev and Pegula are looking good at the moment. Just going to get some water. Just going to put some tomatoes in with my pasta, which I'll be having after this stream ends. Let me know some Champions League scores in the live chat. Also, make sure to give us a follow on Instagram at TalkingTennisTT. Also, let me know, can you hear me okay when I'm this far away from the mic? I do have a mic I can walk around the apartment with, which maybe I can attach for a stream in the future. But it might not be that easy to hear me from so far away. Has Medvedev consolidated his break? How is Bencic doing? She's got a game point at 40-30, I see. Oh, deuce. And I've forgotten my water. Oh. Medvedev has consolidated. So 6-2-2 love. And I'm getting a bit chilly. So I'm going to put my jacket on. And my slippers. I need my slippers as well. It's just the temperature just begins to drop. We had a couple of good weeks of weather in Germany, but it's just dropping again. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I'm back, people. Stop panicking. Stop panicking. Break point Pegula, but she's missed a really good chance. Interesting, yeah. Novak in Australia is certainly someone who loves the night. And the eye test and the performances from Novak, which Novak readily admits, by the way. He said after his previous match that he's way off it. But it's Novak Djokovic, so. Okay, Medvedev leads 6-2, 2-1 with a break. And we're going to have a break point here again for Jessica Pegula. Breakpoint Pegula. Where's this second serve going to go from Bencic? She serves. It's breakpoint number 2 in this game for Jess. Oh, what a huge second serve that was. No lacking in bravery there from Bencic. And we're back to deuce. Mickelson and Medvedev are at a change of ends, by the way. So, deuce here. 2 break points in this game have come and gone from Pegula. That was a huge second serve out wide from Bencic. First serve here at deuce. And it goes out wide as well. Forehand return, but no. Second serve didn't land in. The break with a change of ends between Medvedev and Mickelson seems to be lasting quite a while. I will be tuning into that in a moment. Forehand here into the forehand of Pegula. Forehand cross court is defended by Bencic. Bencic again defending. I don't think it's her strong suit. And that's a wonderful backhand winner down the line there from Jessica Pegula. And it's going to be break point number 3 in this game. And Medvedev and Mickelson have returned to the court. Love 15 with Medvedev serving. Do hit that like button, by the way. And if you're new to the channel, you've not been here before, hit subscribe and watch this number tick over. You will be potentially 27,151. But to us, you'll be much more than a number. And you can do a little dance knowing that you have made a difference. Okay, into the rally here on break point. Oh, Pegula had a chance to pass Bencic there. She dumps a backhand into the net and we're back to deuce once again. All right. I've still got my water to get. It's just over here, by the way, so it's not too far away. I might be grating some cheese on the live stream in a moment, actually. Bencic now with a game point. You want to see me grate some cheese? Parmesan. Live on Talking Tennis, Talking Cheese. Chalk and cheese, maybe. Back to deuce with Pegula and Bencic, by the way. Medvedev here struggling to hold on to his serve. He's at 30 all. Of course, he is up a break. The problem with this particular cheese is actually Gran Padano, which I think is sort of very similar cheese to Parmesan, but it's a bit softer. And so sometimes when you're doing this, I don't know if you can see this very well, it just suddenly breaks. But when it doesn't break, it's very useful and very tasty. Got all sorts of things going on in the background, by the way. I've got my washing machine whirring. Okay. All right. 30-40, break point for Mikkelsen. All right, that'll do. Don't want to. Well, I was going to say I don't want to over cheese it, but I don't know if you can. Oh, break point number 4 for Pegula. She chops that return back on the forehand of Bencic. Forehand cross court into the forehand of Bencic. Which is great angle there. What a forehand winner from Jessica Pegula. She is up a set and a break. And Daniel Medvedev, I'm going to get this pronunciation right in a moment, has a game point for 3-1. Let's switch over to Medvedev and Mikkelsen because Pegula is 3 games away from a spot in the next round. Don't forget, Pegula was down a set and 4-3 with a break for Ostapenko. So Ostapenko was in a very similar position, very commanding position herself against Pegula. But that was Ostapenko. This is Pegula. I think it's easy to argue that Jess is the much more solid of the 2 players. Medvedev here has a game point. Do stick with us on Talking Tennis, by the way, because we're going to have streams for Draper and Djokovic. We're going to have streams for Kartal and Rybakina, plus Alcaraz and Ruud. Anyone else? Am I missing anyone else? I'm just trying to think. Oh, yes, Siniakova and Svitolina as well. Oh, Medvedev holds for 3-1. So he is 3 games away from the win. Jessica Pegula is 3 games away from the win. Medvedev just gets a towel there. So Mikkelsen serving here at 1-3. Okay, what's going on? Oh, Medvedev, love 15. And Pegula's back on court and raced into a 4-love lead. Good to have so many of you across these 2 streams right now. Please do hit that like button. And if you are new to the channel, hit subscribe. Love 15 here on the Mikkelsen serve. But it's a good forehand up the line from Alex to get us to 15 all. Okay, backhand here from Medi down the line. It's going to be a passing shot to get us to 15-30. Pegula holds, by the way, so she consolidates the break, gets to 4-2. And there we see Mikkelsen looking a bit disconsolate, actually. Down a set and a break, but also 15-30 on his serve. Was going to go for a serve volley there, but missed his first serve. So a second serve here for Medi to look at. Meanwhile, Pegula is getting closer and closer to the finish line. 2 games away right now from a spot in the quarterfinals. And that spot would be against either Kartal or Rabakina. Or good defending there for Mikkelsen, but he can't defend that. 15-40. Mikkelsen on the stretch there did well to defend and get it back over the net, but Medvedev ultimately put the forehand short ball away. So 15-40. And Mikkelsen comes in for a serve volley. What a volley from Alex Mikkelsen. As he came in for that, I thought, uh-oh, you've made a big mistake there because you're not putting this volley away. But Alex Mikkelsen was like, John, shut up. I know what I'm doing. And I tell you what, when you can hit volleys like that, maybe you should serve volley a bit more often. Okay, forehand here from Mikkelsen is going to be a winner, is it? Not outright, but he should put that volley away, and he does. Deuce. Well done, Alex Mikkelsen, for saving those 2 break points. Bencic here serving at 2-4, 30-15. Okay, Mikkelsen misses the first serve. So second serve here for Mehdi to look at. Backhand return into the forehand of Mikkelsen. And that's gone long, that return. So game point here for Mikkelsen. Okay. Game point Mikkelsen, but he puts that forehand into the net. So we are back to deuce. Mikkelsen has saved 2 break points. The most sensational of them was that incredible volley he did off a serve volley. Serve volley, of course, is a tactic against Medvedev. Maybe Mikkelsen should be deploying it more often, given the way he can volley. But it is a tactic that's been heavily relied on in the past by Novak Djokovic and Carlos Alcaraz. Alcaraz especially in those 2 Indian Wells finals. And now Mikkelsen's at the net. And I tell you what, his touch at the net is sensational. And yet he still loses that point. Incredible movement around the court there from Medvedev. But Mikkelsen's touch at the net, let's not underestimate it. And I think it's something we can use going forward. Because I think it's going to help him win a lot of tennis matches. Yes, he's annoyed he didn't win that point because really, probably he should have done. He'd almost done the hard work with the incredible network and the touch that he had. It was still not an easy shot for him to down the line. But anyway, now as he can put that forehand away, he's going to have a tricky smash here. No, he's not. It's going to land out. Deuce. Oh, break point. Bencic here at deuce. So Bencic serving 2-4 deuce. Yeah. And I just, listen, is Mikkelsen winning a slam? Probably not. Is he getting to world number 1? Almost certainly not. So what else is there? There is an incredible slam run in him one day where he gets to the semis or maybe even the final in New York or maybe Wimbledon. I don't think clay's ever going to be his thing, despite that 175 challenger he won last year in Estoril. Which he won, by the way, on the back of just being an incredibly good tennis player rather than necessarily a great clay tennis player. Maybe the draw as well wasn't too bad. Pellegrino in the final, for instance, who didn't really turn up, to be fair. But with volleys like that and a decent serve and some pretty good shot making off the ground, you know, sure. Why not win a 1,000 one day? Why not win maybe... Oh, Oh, look at that volley, though. Look at that volley. You see? Look at the creativity, the artistry, the industry for Mikkelsen that he's able to produce. By the way, Bencic, big hole because she was down 2-4 there and was struggling a bit. But 8 from 15 net points won. That's not a great ratio considering I've just been praising his volley so much. But he gave one away anyway. So suddenly it's 9 from 15 and maybe it looks slightly better. But anyway, game point here for Mikkelsen. And Medi misses the backhand. So change of ends. 3-2 Medi, but still with a break. Let's zone in on potentially the latter stages of Pegula against Bencic. I say potentially because Pegula is in exactly the same position that Yelena Ostapenko was in against Jessica in Indian Wells this year. Was that the last round or the round before? I was going to say it's the previous round, but honestly, I'm getting my rounds confused at the moment. Yeah, previous round. Yeah, because Ostapenko was up 6-4, 4-3 with a break. But then Pegula won the next 3 games in the set and won the set and then easily won the third set, 6-2. So I think Pegula won 3-9 of the last 11 games to run away with that match. But Pegula's not Ostapenko. Forehand, here, cross court from bench into the net. So 15 love. Good start for Jess in this service game. Oh, we've just gained a couple of subscribers. Thank you very much for all of you who are hitting that like button and you're subscribing. And as soon as you subscribe, watch that number. Good serve down the tee there from Jess to get us to 30 love. I'm just going to attend to my pasta, which I'm hoping to eat at the end of these 2 matches, the Pegula and the Medvedev matches. Wonderful return from Bencic, 30-15. I want to have a quick look on the Champions League scores from this evening, which are currently... Oh, PSG are leading Chelsea 2-1. Madrid are 3-0 up on Man City. Well. Maybe their decision to dispense of the services of Xabi Alonso looked like it might be a wise decision, but it's still early doors. I mean, the thing is, with a 2-legged match, you can be 3-0 up after an hour in the first leg. But if you, let's say it's 3-2, I mean, 3-0, if that was just a straight league match or a straight one-off cup tie, Man City will be in big trouble. But actually, they only need 2 goals to suddenly make the second leg very interesting. In fact, you could argue with the away goals now not really mattering, even just a 3-1 loss might not be the end of the world. Bodo Glimt beating Sporting Lisbon, by the way, 2-0. And PSG up 2-1 on Chelsea in Paris. So that brings you up to date with all the football. If you have zero interest in the football and you say, look, John, this is talking tennis, not talking football, get back to the tennis. It's exactly what I'm about to do. And Medvedev, by the way, 3-2, 40 love. So 3 game points for Danil. Bencic here serving 3-5, 7% in the match. I just had a little bite on my pasta. Okay, Bencic, 3-5, 7% in the match. Medvedev has held for 4-2. Good serve down the tee there from Bencic, 30 love. So, results from today thus far. Iga Swiatek beat Mukova. That was my prediction. Cam Norrie beat Hijikata. That was also my prediction. Pegula is very, very, very close to beating Belinda Bencic. That was also my prediction. Daniel Medvedev is very, very, very close to beating Alex Michelsen. That is also my prediction. Mind you, 40 love here for Bencic to at least keep Jess honest by making her serve this out. 3 game points for Belinda. See, the thing is, for me, Bencic not being an elite mover or an elite defender, when she comes up against someone as good as Jessica, but also someone who plays with a bit of margin like Jessica, sometimes those marginal shots are still winners or still like outright winners when Belinda's not even close to it, or Belinda can't really get her racket on it. Different against someone like Coco, who can make, unbelievable winners. Look at Coco against Ostapenko, for example, at the US Open a couple of years ago. And yet Coco's just frustrating the hell out of her. And same with Coco against Sabalenka on many, many occasions. We see the difference in the Sabalenka matches in terms of the tolerance that Coco has, but also the length of the rallies. When those rallies go beyond 8 or 9 points, it's almost game over. And that's what was happening so often in that French Open final, Roland Garros last year between Goff and Sabalenka, and does do in slow, stodgy conditions, or as it was that day, very windy. Anyway, let's have a quick look at Medvedev. He's at 30 all on the Michelsen serve. So if he was to get the break here, he would then be serving for the match. But let's just stay with Pegula and Bencic right now because they're returning to the court. Even though it's been just one set and then potentially straight sets, it could be pushing an hour and a half this match, which tells you how close it's been. But I mean, we've had a few breaks of serve. Belinda, of course, was up an early break in both the first and second set. Anyway, Jessica Pegula here serving for the match. Medvedev has a break point to put himself in a position to serve for the match. But we're just going to stay with Pegula and Bencic for a moment. Double fault from Pegula to start this game. So love 15. And Michelsen saved that break point, by the way. So it's back to juice. It was at juice there, sorry. Remember to hit that like button, people. You can also click share, by the way, which is, I think, below the screen, somewhere or below the... Yeah, just click share and set this on your socials with all your friends. Maybe you can annoy them. I think you can send this on... You can send it to people on WhatsApp, I'm neither encouraging nor discouraging that. But certainly put it on Facebook or X, or can you share it on Instagram? I don't know. Okay. Chop return here from Bencic. Backhand. Pretty calm backhand there. It was a bit tame from Pegula. And Bencic has punished that tame backhand from Pegula that wasn't really risky enough. She just patted it back in play and almost hoped that Bencic would hit an error, but she didn't. It was a good forehand winner from Belinda, nevertheless. 15-30. Michelsen holds, by the way. So Medvedev doesn't get that break and won't be serving for the match just yet. But he's constantly threatening the Alex serve. Serve down the tee. Forehand return from Belinda Bencic. Forehand cross court from Belinda into the forehand of Pegula. Forehand from Pegula up the line is not bad, but so's that cross court from Bencic, and she's going to have 2 break points. Well. Bencic has been applying pressure to the Pegula serve today. She broke her at the beginning of the match and then broke her in the early moments of the second set. But on both occasions, Bencic wasn't able to consolidate the break, and Jess got it back on serve. Well, is she going to break Jess for a third time? Good serve down the tee there, but well done, Bencic, for getting it back in play. What a forehand winner that is from Bencic. 5-all. 5 games all. And well, I did not anticipate that. I might be the king of the predictions, but I didn't anticipate that. Oh, Chelsea have equalised against PSG, 2-all. Over in Paris, first leg, of course. Round of 16 in the Champions League. Okay, Bencic serves. Misses the first serve. So second serve here for Jess to look at. Backhand return, but goes into the net. You do suspect, though, if Pegula got the break again, she would serve it out. I think, in a way, if you're a break up and you don't serve it out, but then you break and then serve for it a second time, I always think you're in a better position mentally than if you were up a double break and therefore had 2 opportunities to serve it out as well. But I think you're more vulnerable the second time because you're like, oh my goodness, I had a double break now. I've got to get this done now. Whereas the other way round, it's a bit like a second chance. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Backhand return from Jess. Nice backhand up the line from Pegula. But that forehand from Bencic goes into the all. Okay. Medvedev, meanwhile, 4-3, 30 love. I was sure that this Bencic match would be done first. Pegula would get this done the first time of asking when trying to serve it out. But she did Ostapenko in a way. Ostapenko didn't get as far as serving forward, to be fair. Misses the first serve, Bencic. So second serve here for JPEG to look at. Medvedev has 3 game points for 5-3, by the way. Good serve down the tee there from Bencic. We have seen her take a few risks on that second serve. But the forehand goes into the net. That's 2 points in a row where the Bencic forehand broke down. And just physically as well, I think she might just starting to feel it there as she bends down to try to just recuperate for a final push in this set at the very least. Medvedev, by the way, is a game away from a spot in the quarterfinals. He is up 6-2, 5-3 on Alex Michelsen. Ace down the tee from Bencic. So she has recuperated big style, 30-all. Is she going to ensure at least a tiebreak for herself? I think it is quite hot out there today, by the way. Now having a reassessment of things, just because I wasn't too sure earlier on when Matthew asked. Good serve out wide, and that's not going to land in. So 40-30. So really good serve out wide. That Pegula did well to get her racket on it. And Bencic was there ready because I thought it might just drop in, but in the end it just dropped out. Hour and 34 minutes on the clock. Bencic serving. In the piercing sunshine. Serves down the tee. Forehand return from Pegula. Forehand now to forehand. Backhand cross court into the backhand of Bencic. Backhand up the line from Jess. Jess would love to get us to juice here and make Pegula think. Slice there from Pegula. And the missed backhand from Bencic. Juice. Mickelson serving to stay in the match at 3-5. He is up 30 love. So here we are at deuce. Might not be many chances left for Mickelson. And there might not be many chances left for you to hit subscribe. So do it right now. Or don't. Up to you. Ace down the tee from Bencic. She's bringing out the aces just when she needs it most. So she now has a game point to 6 5. And Mikkelsen serving to stay in the match. Is at least so far doing his part. 30 love he leads. Missed the first serve, Bencic, as she tries to go out wide. And Mikkelsen now leads 40 love, so he's going to have 3 game points to at least make Medvedev serve it out. That second serve was tame, but it had a good spot. And what a backhand cross court for Bencic. 5 she leads. So we're going to get at least a tie break from her side. I say at least a tie break. She'll be either going to a tie break or she's going to break Jessica Pegula and win this set. Pegula, let's just remind you, especially if you're just joining us, Pegula was serving for the match. And yet Bencic broke with some great first strike tennis. Bencic, there we see that tattoo on her right wrist, which I think is the Olympic rings from when she, of course, won Olympic gold in Tokyo in 2021. I think it was still called the 2020 Olympics, wasn't it? But it was held in 2021 due to COVID. That backhand, by the way, I've mentioned elements of holes in Bencic's game. The backhand is definitely not one of those holes. So Medvedev will serve for the match, and Pegula will serve to stay in the second set. I'm going to turn on Medi as well. I'm going to have both of these matches on right now because who knows what might happen in the next couple of minutes. I've got Medi on my phone and Pegula on my TV. Pegula is serving first. She'll be on before Medi and Mikkelsen resume. Okay. Now, time has been called for Medi and Mikkelsen. And Pegula has got a 30 love lead on her serve as she serves to stay in this set as Bencic puts that into the tram lines. It's going to be 30-15, mind you. Okay, Medvedev serving for the match. If we get a game point for Pegula or a set point for Bencic, I will let you know, of course. Medi here with a bunch of backhands, but he's going to miss that backhand up the line. So love 15. I wonder what's going to finish first. These Mikkelsen, Medvedev, will that finish first? Or will Pegula, Medvedev finish first? Or will my washing machine finish first? It's a race against time, people. Although in tennis, there is no clock, but in my washing machine, there is. But you get the point. Pegula goes long there, 30 all. Good serve from Medi out wide, but it's the rally still on. Mikkelsen defending really well there, and now he's on the attack, but he's gone long, 15 all. Oh, it's 30-15. Sorry, my bad. So Medvedev, 2 points away from the win. Bencic, 2 points away from winning the second set. Chop return there from Bencic. Pegula comes into the net. Is that lob going to land in? No, it's not. 40-30. Look how annoyed Bencic is there. I mean, it was the right choice, I think. I mean, Pegula was bearing down on the net, and Pegula's not the tallest, but just because of the position where Bencic was, I do think the lob was the right choice, but maybe she's annoyed with her execution. By the way, 30 all Medvedev Mikkelsen. And we are going to a tiebreak, Pegula Bencic, by the way. So let's just hone in on this situation here. Ace down the tee for Medvedev, bringing up a match point for Daniil. But can he seal it on this first match point? Medvedev serves. Second serve here for Mickelson to look at. A spot in the quarterfinals once again for Daniel at stake. Serves down the tee. Now on the forehand of Daniel into the backhand of Mickelson. Backhand from Medi goes cross court. Mickelson defends it. Forehand from Medi. Oh, what a forehand cross court that is from Mickelson, by the way, to save the match point. We're back to deuce. We're at deuce, I should say. Keep making that mistake today. When I get to the first deuce, often I say back to deuce, but we're at deuce. Okay. A tie-break beginning, by the way, between Bencic and Pegula, and it's Pegula who wins the first point, 1-0, and it was on the Bencic serve, so a mini break. Double fault for Medvedev. Are we seeing a similar thing like Pegula when she was serving for the match? Ace from Pegula. 2-0 for her. So now we have a break point for Alex Mickelson in a match. Honestly, Medvedev has dominated this match thus far. Serve down the tee, chop return, forehand from Medi, backhand there from Mickelson, fighting, scrambling, hoping as well. Comes into the net. Now Medi on the backhand, goes to the lob. Oh, but he's got to that lob, but we're into the rally still. Medvedev on the run, forehand cross court. Wonderful backhand down the line. Medvedev tries to pass. He should win the point from here. And does. Deuce. Body shot there from Medi. Mickelson, I don't think, was particularly happy with it, but what a breakpoint save. By the way, Bencic has got the mini break back in this tie break, so it is 2-1. Ooh, it's all happening at the moment. Hi, Ghosty, once again. It's all happening right now. Pegula serving for the match. Couldn't serve it out. And now we're into the tie break. Medvedev trying to serve for the match here and has had to just fend off a break point. Deuce. Second serve. Forehand return from... oh, what a find out the line. But look at the defense there from Mickelson. Mickelson still defending, still scrambling. Is he going to get to this? Is he going to win the point? Yes, he is. What a scrambler. Alex Mickelson is, and I mean that with the absolute highest of compliments, because he's so much more, but I'm just talking about these points. Look at that. How did he get a racket on that, and how did he get it over the net? And then chase that down, and look at the touch. So he's got the scramble and the touch. It's like an egg with some nice spices on top. Pegula, by the way, now leads 4-1 in the tiebreak. And it's a double mini break in her advantage. Ace down the tee. Yeah. It's a close call. But Mickelson, by the way, is so annoyed with that. Not because it was the wrong call, I don't think. Not because, you know, the umpire's messed up or anything. But it's just, oh my goodness, why does it happen? Oh, look, he's annoyed again. I've seen this from Mickelson before, by the way, when he was playing Dennis Novak on clay at a challenger in Portugal. And he's like, why is it Dennis Novak? He's playing more like Novak Djokovic. So funny. Okay, second match point here for Medi. Down the tee. Backhand now cross court into the forehand of Mickelson. But Medvedev is defending. Mickelson on the attack. Medvedev with a forehand down the line. What a volley there from Mickelson. I told you he's excellent at the net. I told you. 4-2, by the way. Pegula, Bencic at the change of ends. Bencic gets one of the mini breaks back with a decent return. So we're at deuce now with Medvedev and Mickelson. And by the way, I'm just listening to my washing machine. Remember, I said washing machine against Pegula versus Bencic versus Medvedev Mickelson. Which is going to conclude first? Honestly, I don't know. It might be the washing machine. Okay, Medvedev comes into the net here. Should win the point from here. But you never know with that scramble of Mickelson, but he doesn't win the point there. So advantage Medvedev. 6.5 minutes on the clock for this game. He saved a couple of break points, has Medi, but he's also had a couple of break match points of his own. Medvedev to serve here. Match point. Okay, where are you going to go? Match point number 3. Out wide. It's a good serve. Medvedev should win the point from here. And does with a forehand drive winner. Sticks his thumb up. I'm not sure if it's to the crowd or his box. I've seen him do that to his box on a few occasions in the past, albeit that was more probably to Gilles Chavada rather than his current team makeup. Mikkelsen, by the way, ever the sportsman, despite some of the fact he just can't believe how Mehdi is painting lines on some of those serves just when it matters most, when he's break point down, for example, as he was trying to serve it out. But ultimately, Daniil Medvedev gets over the line. 6-2, 6-4 is a match that Daniel dominated, by the way, pretty much from start to finish. He was pressurized, and the Mikkelsen served so often to get that double break in the second set, but wasn't able to take it, but ultimately gets over the line and reaches yet another Indian Wells quarterfinal. Remember, he's been in 2 Indian Wells finals in the past and also a semi-finals, and now he's in the quarterfinals once again, and he'll play the winner of Novak Djokovic and Jack Draper. That is to come for Daniil Medvedev in a place where, despite the fact I don't think the conditions necessarily suit him, it is a place where he's thrived. But then has he thrived? Because he's not won a title there. And that is my washing machine, which finishes second in this race to the finish line. Medvedev, well done. You get first prize. Second prize for my washing machine. Third prize will be for Pegula or Bencic. By the way, third prize in a 3-horse race is not really a prize. But anyway, it is what it is. Okay, match points for Jessica Pegula, and there are 3 of them. And the first 2 are going to be on her serve. So here we go. Jessica to serve. Down the tee, forehand chop return from Bencic. Slice there from Pegula, which I think is an underrated shot in her armory. But this is on the backhand now, Bencic, which is anything but an underrated shot in her armory. And she saves the first match point. Similarities between these 2 matches in the way that Pegula wasn't able to serve it out when she had the chance at 5-4. Not quite the same, because eventually Mehdi got over the line. Okay, 6-4. Second match point for Pegula. Serves out wide. Good forehand return, though, from Bencic. But Bencic on the run. Bencic scrambling. And she's no Alex Mikkelsen, but it doesn't matter because Pegula's going to oblige with a backhand error. And 2 match points come and go. So, Pegula, 6-5. And we're now at 6-all for the change of ends. So it's not done yet, not by a long shot. 6-all, change of ends. Pegula serving for the match. And honestly, she was in charge. Yes, she'd been broken in the first, in the early stages of both sets. Tell a lie. What the hell am I talking about? Pegula gets over the line. I think my scoreboard was wrong. And Pegula does get over the line. 6-3, 7-6. She wins. Yeah, story of the match. Well, Bencic drew first blood, broke at the beginning of the first set. But Pegula broke back immediately. And therefore, ultimately regained control of the match, or gained control of the match when she got the next break of serve as well. Ultimately getting over the line. She then goes down an early break in the second set. But fights back immediately once it was back on serve. And then once she then went up a break, again, it looked very comfortable until 5-4. And then she's serving for the match. And I'm telling you, I think no one in the tennis world expected Jessica Pegula not to be able to serve it out, as I see Bencic wave to the crowd and goodbye to her Indian Wells chances for another year at the round of 16 stage. But Pegula couldn't serve it out. And Bencic was crushing backhands at this stage. And I think it was unnerving Pegula. In fact, Pegula was struggling also at 5-6 to get it to a tie break. We do go to the tie break. Pegula gets a mini break. Bencic gets that mini break back. But then Pegula races into a double mini break advantage that sees her then serving for the match at 6-3 with 3 match points in her pocket and the first 2 on her serve. But squanders both of those. But then ultimately seals the deal at the third time of asking. It was third time lucky for Jess with that forehand winner. And she gets over the line And next for Jess will be the winner of Sonny Kartal and Elena Rybakina. Of course, it was Rybakina who beat her recently in the Australian Open. Let's listen to Jess right now.
But the 4 times that you played her, you've never gotten a set off of her. And
Not got a set off. That's right. First win for her over Bencic. It was 4-0 before today, but I did predict it. She's got a bit of sense of humor there, using that joke that I think is a Gerolitis joke, right? No one beats me 17 times in a row and gets away with it.
With confidence and accepting of the challenge that I have to figure out a way to at least get a set.
well, you played incredibly. You're down the line, backhand and forehands down the line. You were painting them. How thrilled are you with your performance? What do you think was the key today to reverse your fortune?
I mean, she's a really good returner, so I know I have to focus on my serve a lot. I've been serving really well here, so I just wanted to keep that confidence going, not afraid to move the serve around, go for my second serves, and know that she's going to hit some good returns. And then on her serve, I think just pressure her serve a lot. I'm a really good returner, so I like to put a lot of pressure. I wanted to come out doing that right away. I felt like in the second set, when I got up there, I had a little bit of a lull where I had a couple of game points and I could have maybe been up more, finished the match, but at the same time, she's a really good player. And when you don't quite finish those off, that's where she can come in, and that's what she did. So she made me have to earn it today.
You certainly did, and they love seeing you here in Indian Wells. Congratulations.
So, Pegula through. Will it be Sonny Kartal or Elena Rybakina in the next round? Well, that match is to come later on. Next up on this court, I think, is Casper Ruud against Carlos Alcaraz in an intriguing match that is to come. But Pegula is through, and she reverses that fortune. Yeah, 8 sets in a row that had gone the way of Belinda Bencic before today in a 4-0 head-to-head. And yet, don't know, it always felt like it was Pegula's to win. I think Pegula is arguably playing the best tennis of her career. I know she's in her early 30s, but that's what I see. But she probably needs to back it up with, more finals and more titles. The thing is, for her, she's not winning a French Open, so it's going to have to wait until Wimbledon, I think, if she is going to have another bite at the Grand Slam cherry. She's just whacking some tennis balls into the stadium. We're seeing them change the nets right now. Why are they changing the nets? Because WTA and ATP have different sponsors. I'd be interested to know, actually, your thoughts in the comments. Maybe we should have a ATP and WTA joint venture. But anyway, that's perhaps for another day and another podcast. For now, let's have a quick look at these stats. Pegula got 8 aces to Bencic's 3, but some of Bencic's aces came up at really important moments towards the end of that second set as she was ultimately forcing a tiebreak. 66% of her first serves won for Jess compared to 59% Bencic. By the way, Bencic winning just 41% of her second serves, but then Pegula only won 39% of her second serves. Neither did great at the net. But ultimately, Pegula, more or less in charge of the match, I would suggest, and definitely a deserving winner. Thanks for joining. And you know the drill. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.